All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to CAGcast episode number 661. I'm your host, Cheapy D, here in Long Island, New York. And as always, we're joined by a man who all he had to do to get an Xbox was to go to Ohio and put on a UPS uniform and rent a truck, Wombat.
Totally worth it.
Did you burn the uniform?
Of course not. I needed the missus likes it.
It's a long holiday season.
Exactly.
Right.
Sad.
Shipwreck, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Were you just
Glad to
looking
be here.
around to see if your Xbox had just arrived?
Well, I have one there.
Right.
That's fine.
You were checking to make sure it was still there? That
We'll
Wombat
get into
didn't
that whenever you tell me to get into that.
into your Xbox story?
Yeah.
I don't know. We can get into that right now. That seems to be the hot topic.
It is the hot topic.
Okay. So I have my Xbox. Just to preface this all, like
It's right
the whole
there.
thing is-
It's right behind you. I see it.
It's right behind me. It's right there. To preface this, every console launch, I cover my bases, right? I pre-order from at least 2 places in case something goes wrong.
You're making Shipwreck.
In case you wombat it up.
So I got mine in from Target. It was relatively on time, a couple days after launch. That's fine. And this whole Amazon thing, I was going through the same thing most people were on Amazon. Of course, we all pre-ordered it. First day it came available, 9/22. Wait, let's go back to the beginning here again.
Oh
just
my
to
God,
say-
we got to go back.
just so people
You're
aren't
telling
like,
a story
oh
like
why
my
does-
wife tells
why
us.
You're
does
telling
he need
a
2
story like
Xboxes?
Wombat
The
tells a
second
story.
Xbox, then it was going to one of my wife's employees. They were just going to. They were looking for one, so I don't need 2. I was just like, yeah, I did the same thing with the PS5. I got 2 of them. We sold one of them to one of her employees that was looking for same thing.
You got a
So-
whole operation going on over there. Is what
right.
you're saying.
It's a well-oiled machine. Like this is every time consoles come out, I make sure that they get spread around to the vicinity of people who need them.
Couldn't Wombat get in on some of that action? I feel like Wombat could have just put his eggs in Shipwreck's basket.
Well, honestly, actually, I guess the answer to that one is technically no. Also, it would have been the whole idea what he would take it and then ship it to me. That's like a pain in the ass.
Right. That's like
And
$45.
I wouldn't make Shipwreck do that.
Actually, I had. Yeah.
I would.
He would do it.
that,
He's doing
but
it anyway
is-
for other people.
I know. I didn't say he wouldn't. I'm just saying I wouldn't do that to him. Was my point.
I'm impressed.
And I'm not selling these like I'm not jacking up costs or anything. It's strictly I'm passing them along. Like here's
Passing the
what I
love.
paid for them. Here, pay me the money that you were going to spend, and it's a done deal. So pre-ordered it on the first day available back about 2 months ago now, right? So
Okay.
9/22. Then shortly after that, I got the email that everybody got of we're not quite sure. We'll let you know when we have them. Then I got the email that was like, oh, you're not getting yours until 12/31. We're gonna say like by 12/31.
Right. And that that's a placeholder date because it's
Right,
just
the
like
placeholder date. It's where Wombat. This is where Wombat is currently in the process.
Got it.
This is where I live.
No, you're a step further actually, right?
No, I'm not.
Didn't you take the step of saying I don't want to cancel this item? We talked
No,
about this
I
last
had
time.
to get in touch with him because I never got that email.
Okay.
So I reached out on chat and was like, "Where's my Xbox?"
Okay.
And they're like, "No, it's coming. We promise."
All right. So I went through the whole like reply to this to make sure you don't want to cancel, and I went, yeah.
I
still
never
want
got
this.
that email.
Still want this. So this weekend I got the shipping confirmation. They're like, oh yeah, it's gonna be there Wednesday. I'm like, fantastic. This is all working out well. The person at Gretchen's work was like, oh yeah, I'm really excited. I didn't think this was gonna come this soon. So I'm watching it. I get the update. I'm like, oh yeah, it's coming this Wednesday. It's on it. I'm looking at it this morning. It's on a truck on its way. I get the email saying, oh, it's 10 stops away.
I love that. The push notification.
Yeah,
You get that?
it's like 10
Yeah.
stops away. All right, I'll
I
head
get those.
upstairs.
You can watch it
and
on a
wait.
map.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I get the little like my Ring doorbell is making a noise that somebody's at the front door. I'm like, oh, okay, it's packages are here. So I look out and he's dropping off packages there was multiple things that we got. I'm like, okay, didn't really pay much attention. I'm like, okay, I'm up here. I'm just gonna grab it. So he goes back out to the truck, and because it's COVID, like I'm not like looking to open the door while he's out there
Right.
placing packages.
Right.
So he goes back out to the truck. I bring the stuff in. I'm like, this doesn't look like an Xbox. Maybe this wasn't the Amazon truck.
Right.
Like there's multiple Amazon trucks moving around. So I like go in, and then like I see another Amazon truck drive down. I'm like, oh, maybe it's that one. And then like I look down at my phone and I get this notification that my Xbox is undeliverable. And I'm like, what? Like I'm right here. And both Amazon trucks, I picture them just peeling out and then getting off of my street. Like, but they just drove off, both Amazon trucks. So I like open up the email, and it's like, we couldn't deliver this. Your order's now been canceled. You'll be refunded in 3 to 5 days.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
pretty sweet solution.
Exactly what you. Yeah, exactly what you want in this situation. And so I'm like, I talked to their customer service. I obviously gave them a call. I'm like, what's going on here? So
right.
I talked to the first level, and they're like, oh, let's transfer you to the distribution center, because this wasn't a UPS truck. This was a Amazon all the way. Like there's no handoff.
Yellow smile on the side of the truck.
Right. It's Amazon from start to finish.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
They order it, they deliver it to my house. If they could have used a drone, they would.
Right.
So I'm talking to them. They're like,
speaking of drones, this is some story.
It's fine.
I have, meanwhile, in the broadcast, I have Amazon Prime vans driving by while you're telling the story.
I know.
How do you know?
Because I could see when you redeemed it.
Oh.
So I'm talking to the distribution person, and they're like, yeah, it looks like it went out on a truck, and it's not there.
Right.
And I'm like, yeah, that's what it looks like. I agree. We're at this point where we're agreeing.
Right.
That it was on
it's
a
not
truck,
here.
It's not here.
We're on the same page. Perfect.
So then I get transferred to, I don't know, some other level of Amazon customer service. And they basically just explained to me exactly what the email said.
Right.
And I'm like,
I can read.
How can this isn't acceptable? Like, this isn't an acceptable solution to this problem.
Right. I got to know, at the very least, you have to know what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Did somebody steal it? Did it fall out the back? Like, the Xbox was there and then it wasn't there. So
right.
you need.
They started telling me like, oh, well, maybe the box was damaged, and I'm like, I don't think that's the case. Like, and so they finally, like, I was talking to them. They're like, well, we think it was either lost or stolen.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's what the email said too.
I agree. I think that's a valid thing. And they're like, well, what we're going to do is we're going to investigate, and we'll take care of what we find with the employees. I'm like, wait, no, I don't care. If somebody stole the Xbox, I don't need to know. They don't need to lose their job over it.
Yes, they do.
I don't have a stake in that. Well, they can't, unless they can firmly prove who it was. Like, I don't.
Yeah, that's what I mean. If they can prove that
I don't want the
Joe
driver
Amazon
lose.
stole your box, then yeah, I'm pretty sure that qualifies as a fireable offense.
Right.
He has one job: don't steal other people's stuff and give it to them. That's literally his job.
Right.
It doesn't go to like someone. They hand him a box and they say, "You take this to this address."
It's right on the
take
box.
it back to my house? No.
Do I sell it on eBay?
No.
Do I sit on it and jump up and down?
You take it to the place written on the box.
Oh,
okay. So I'm taking this to Microsoft? No, not that side of the box.
So, but what I'm saying is, if they find the right person, whatever their discipline they need to do, go do that. I don't necessarily think this is the driver's fault. I think it probably was scanned and never got on the truck.
That happens. I've had I've had that happen.
Possible.
Yeah,
that's definitely possible. I'm not saying the guy did steal it. I'm just saying that if they could prove he did,
right. When he was the guy dropping off like multiple other packages on my porch and like kind of like waving at me like through the window.
Right.
Pretty bold if it was him. I really don't think it was him.
Great. Thanks for the Xbox.
Maybe that's what I couldn't really hear him.
Right.
Happy holidays.
So yeah, like I'm still like I don't get that upset at people usually, but like this was their level of customer service and they just kept on repeating they couldn't do anything. I'm like, I pre-ordered something and you guys did not deliver it to me. You still have people with pre-orders open. Just put me back in the queue so that I get one when you get one. They're like, well, there's none available to order. I'm like, exactly.
I know that. I'm
That's
telling you that. That's
Yeah.
what I'm telling you.
right. So after that, the funny thing is I have the serial number for this Xbox. They sent me the serial number when they sent the tracking information.
Right. They drop ship it, right? From
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's why they get stolen, by the way, because they're in a box that looks, it's coming. I got one right from Microsoft Store, and there's no. It's just the box is exactly the shape of the box that the Xbox is in. There's really no padding on the side. It's pretty much the shape of the Xbox packaging.
yeah. So, but I can't do anything with that serial number. What am I going to do? Like go report it to Xbox?
Swat 'em.
Register it.
Swat them.
Register it so when someone tries to use it, they're like, you can't use this. This is registered to someone else.
So when little Johnny like opens it up because his parents bought a stolen Xbox that they didn't know was stolen on Christmas morning and it doesn't work, that's going to be on me.
Yes, that's the whole point.
But they shouldn't
Just
be
checking.
buying stolen. You mean they
Yeah.
bought it off of eBay or something? and
Right.
didn't
They
know was
bought it
stolen?
off eBay.
Yeah.
But wait, I thought so. There's nothing coming tomorrow.
So that's the latest thing. Right before the show,
Okay.
I got another email from Amazon that says, "Oh, there's a possibility that it could have been left at the warehouse, and we'll try to deliver it again tomorrow."
That means they took the driver. He's chained up to the radiator in the basement, and they're dripping water on his forehead right now. Or no, they're waterboarding him. Jeff Bezos has got the towel.
Jeff Bezos is doing it personally.
Yes.
So, so it's marked as undeliverable, canceled. They've told me that it was lost or stolen.
Right.
But now they're going to try to re-deliver it if they can find it. And if they don't deliver it by Saturday, I'm supposed to contact them again. So I'm feeling pretty good about it coming still.
Right. I think there's a good chance. I had a package once from just the regular USPS, and it was actually marked as delivered, and it definitely wasn't delivered. And I called them, and they can see like where it's scanned. When the last time it was scanned, like, oh yeah, you'll probably get it tomorrow. So
Over the summer, I had ordered my parents a new barbecue for for them. My father, I think for Father's Day. I ordered it from Amazon to get delivered directly to their house. The grill shows up, but it was the wrong one. And it wasn't even like a suitable replacement. It was like a folding Coleman camping grill that uses like those tiny little propane tanks. So it wasn't like something that I could just be like, no big deal and just live with it. So I called Amazon. They're like, oh, just slap a label on it. We'll even send UPS to come and take it away. And then when they take it away, we'll mail you the correct one and close the ticket and refund you, whatever. And I'm like, sounds good. UPS comes, collects it. Nothing happens. No refund, no new grill is shipped out. So I had to get in contact with them and say, what's the deal? The grill hasn't shipped. And their reply was, well, we got a grill back from you, but it wasn't the one you ordered. We need the one you ordered.
Yep.
And I'm like, because you sent me the wrong one.
Right. I was just, it's unbelievable to me, like, that they don't have a way for items like this to say, oh yeah, that is not your fault. We're going to be getting more of this item in the future. we'll just keep your order until then. Like that's all I want. Like even
Right.
even if I'm the back of the queue for the
Right.
pre-order.
Right. But they don't think that way. That's not how they're operating there.
No, she just kept on telling me she did not have a way to do that.
Right.
And I just kept on telling her that.
Can you just
That sounds
make
like
one?
the issue I'm having with Verizon right now, because I switched my plan. My free year with Verizon of Disney Plus ended on Monday. So I switched my plan to the plan that gives me the Disney Triple Play for free, because that was only $5 more a month. I'm like, well, that makes sense. Instead of spending $7, I'll spend $5 and get 2 more things. So I do the process. I follow all the instructions. I do everything to the letter. And it says you're enrolled in the triple package. Just click here and log into your Disney account and you'll be all set. And I click there and I log in. It says you are no longer subscribed to Disney Plus. If you'd like to resubscribe, give us money. And I'm like, well, this is insane. So first I'm chatting with Verizon. And the Verizon chat guy goes, yeah, I don't know what to tell you. You have to call Disney Plus.
Enjoy your free service, by the way, that you have to spend 4 hours getting.
Oh, my, 4 hours getting. It was 2 hours on the phone, conference called with Verizon and Disney Plus together. They both admit that something is broken and that it's not my fault, and they still couldn't fix it. And they're like, we can't fix this. We've escalated this. Here's your priority code. Hopefully we have something for you. If not today, maybe tomorrow. And someone did call me back just to tell me we still haven't been able to fix it. So now I have no Disney Plus and I have no Hulu because I had to cancel my Hulu in order to get the triple package. And I was getting Hulu for free.
You know what? You tried. Nothing's free, Wombat. You just learned a valuable lesson.
I learned that I'm getting my. This is annoying as all get out.
How long has it been? Has it been more than a day?
This was today. This was this morning.
Okay, so when I activated my Verizon one, it didn't activate until the following day.
Okay, so we'll try it tomorrow.
It's not your fault they didn't tell you that, because I was the same way. I'm like, why? I'm clicking like I was trying to get into ESPN Plus. And I'm like, no, like I have ESPN Plus. What's going on? And then the following day it worked. You'll probably get an email tomorrow that says they've activated it.
I'll try it tomorrow.
You'll get that email and I'll get my Xbox. It'll be a wonderful day tomorrow.
That would be great if it works out for all of us. And then we'll talk about next week how everything is sunshine and roses and poop shoots.
Right. My broken lamp started working again, so that's good. That's something good.
Good for you. Yes. Everything's coming up cheapy.
Exactly. And I already have my Xbox.
Yeah.
All right. How about some show feedback? Show's over, I think, almost already.
You know what? I grabbed show feedback from the Discord.
From the wrong show?
And
from
the
Blank
YouTube.
Check Podcast?
From the Blank Check Podcast. Not from the actual website because it was all garbage. So just, good job, people on the show thread. This is from 311 Phillies, who has to say,
yes.
Not sure if this is show feedback worthy or not, but did Wombat, Cheapy, and Shipwreck jinx this relationship in the most recent episode? And he posted a link to Jason Sudeikis and Olivia Wilde are now officially separated.
Right.
Yeah, we brought them up last week, and now they're getting a divorce. So what other married couples should we talk about this week and see what happens next week is the question. How long do Colin Jost and Scarlett Johansson have?
She seems kind of cool, though. I heard her interviewed on Stern, and she seemed like she had a sense of humor and was not like an ass. By the way, Ship, I did a poll in the chat, and 82% do not think that you're getting that Xbox.
Oh, that's better than I thought.
82%.
So you're saying
no.
there's a chance,
right? That's
there's a chance.
Can I share that poll with Amazon? Can I get that back to them?
Yeah.
And Surfing Gamer on YouTube has to say, great episode, guys. I think Cheapy's issues with the PS5 look and shape are a bit silly. It's a box designed to deliver games and services. It will sit in your entertainment unit and be forgotten about. The most next-gen thing right now appears to be the new controller. Force feedback, haptics, inbuilt microphone, etc. Looking into the next couple of years, the PS5 seems to have the better lineup of exclusive.
Okay.
So that's where I'm going. Blah, blah, blah.
That other stuff, that's fine. I don't know because I don't have a PS5. But you can't deny. Look at Shipwreck's head. You can see. First of all, my situation and Shipwreck's situation are very different. Shipwreck has like 40 consoles underneath his screen. I have 3. I don't know how many. How many do you have, Ship?
I think there's 36 down there.
Okay.
You need 4 more, so Chibi doesn't look like an asshole.
Well, there's a few more Xboxes coming probably. So it really stands out. Also, Shipwreck's got a white cabinet there, and he's got a big white screen on the wall. So that giant white, air filter.
It's really slimming because it's so far away from me right now.
Right. It looks tiny. It looks
But
actually.
the PS5
cute.
is enormous.
Yeah. I
Like
bet
everybody
it is.
knows it is, but until you like get it out of the box
Yeah.
and hold it in your hands and
Yeah.
set it next to like your other consoles, it's like,
Yes.
holy crap, this thing is huge.
Yes. I agree with everything else that he says. That could be true, but it's going to be directly below my television. I could probably put it behind the entertainment system. There'd be enough. I can make room so it would be blocked, but it would still get air. I was actually thinking, like, do I even need the disk drive at this point? Like, if I had the opportunity to get the
That's
one
really
with
going to make a big difference there.
well, it's $100 difference.
Oh, I meant size-wise, I guess.
Size-wise, no, it doesn't. It doesn't make. It's exactly the same, right? There's no.
It's a little slimmer.
Oh, is
but
it
It's not
actually?
the slimness that you're worried about. It's
No, it's everything else.
the length.
It's also the whiteness. I'm not a big fan of the whiteness it's a lot of surface area of white is basically what it's visible white. Anyway, whatever. I don't have one. Maybe I'm just sour grapes that I don't have one.
Or we're going to talk about it in the Sony section, right?
Yes, we'll be talking about that more later. We haven't gotten to our video game section yet.
No, that's like it. 3
We're
hours.
only on our customer service section right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's called the airing of the grievances, and it takes about 25 minutes to get through. That's it for the feedback. Okay. Well, some
Yeah, that's
feedback
it.
that I got, some advice, feedback, I don't know what you call it. People said we should mention when we do the show live on Twitch during the show, so people
doing it right
know
now.
when to show up. I'm going to do it right now. It's
doing
Wednesdays.
the show right now.
It's now. It's now. Look at your
now.
watch, whatever time it is. That's when we're doing
This
it.
is like that scene in Spaceballs. When is that then going to be now?
Right. Soon.
Soon.
We do the show pretty much almost every Wednesday at 9 p.m. If it changes, we announce it usually because we want people to show up. But Wednesdays, 9 o'clock New York time, at twitch.tv/cheapassgamer. That's
Also
when we do it.
Ohio time.
Also Ohio time. We're all in the
Is that
same-
Arizona time? They're weird with their time zones.
It is. There is a lot of fun going on in this live show, such as animations that you can trigger with your fake points that you get from watching the show, including the Amazon Prime van that took me an hour to put together today. It's cool though. I learned how to move an image across the screen in OBS, and then have it triggered with channel points. It wasn't easy. So look forward in the future. So now the next thing I'm going to figure out how to do is how people can use their channel points to move our video images into around the screen. So like someone could spend points and move Wombat to the top of the screen, or turn off Wombat completely and eject him from the show.
Wombat is sus.
Right. Good one, Wombat.
Thank you.
Let's move on to watch this, bitches.
Sure. I didn't put any of these things on there, but I did watch one of them. So go ahead, whoever put that stuff on there.
Mrs. Cheapy and I rented a movie called Possessor, which sounded like a cool science fiction thriller.
Is it about Professor X, the leader of the X-Men?
No, it's not that actually. And it's not actually a science fiction thriller. It's more of like a horror, ultra gory
The title
sci-fi
sounds like a horror
slash
movie.
'em up. It's not David Cronenberg, but his son. And I forgot what the son's first name is. Little Crony, they call him.
Mm-hmm.
He's got like a big gold chain with with the light meter.
You'd like Crash?
Yes, and So we went to rent the movie. The
How
movie's
about
called.
The Fly? You like The Fly?
We went to rent the movie on Xbox, and they had the regular version and they had the uncut version. And I'm thinking, oh, like maybe the uncut version has some like good sex scenes or something. Like you want to get like, I like my thing is I like to have like sexy movies before bedtime, and then maybe like there's sexy time in the bed. So I'm like, oh, let's just rent the unrated version, the same price, whatever, same length of the movie too. And it was literally the most violent thing I've ever seen. And I watched Netflix, like those Marvel things and everything on Netflix. And oh my God, you see a knife like go into somebody like all the way slow. Like it's just everything. There's a scene. How about this? I mean, the movie was interesting. It was too gross. Like I had to look away a lot, but it was very interesting. It was about check this out. It's about the plot sounds awesome. It's about a corporate assassin. In the future, they send these assassins into other people's bodies. So they take over people, like a body snatcher, right? And they can control the person's body. And then
Are they called possessors?
I guess so. And then they're paid assassins, and then they basically frame somebody else for this murder. And I don't want to ruin anything because the movie was pretty good. I wouldn't recommend the uncut version unless you really like disgusting stuff. But I think this director is like really intent on showing you things that you've never seen on a movie screen before. Because I had to check with Mrs. Cheapy that this actually happened like 2 days after we saw the movie. There's like a short part of the movie where the assassin's walking through somebody's apartment, picks up a pair of women's panties and looks at them, and there's like they're dirty panties. They're like crusty. And I was like, I've never seen that in a movie before. Or like on a screen, I was like, wow, this guy is a real artist. He's really,
Yeah,
he's
sounds
really
like it.
going for it. So if that excites you, check out Possessor. I bet you that's not in the I wonder if the panties are in the regular edition or if that's just the uncut version. So we may never know, but that's Possessor.
Great. I can't wait to never see it.
Yeah, that's not for you guys for sure.
No, it's not for me.
We also watched a couple episodes of Hunting
Hunting
Goodwill.
Hunting
No.
Bill's Manor.
Haunting of Bly Manor. That's on Netflix as well. That's not violent or bloody at all, at least the first 3 episodes. It's the opposite of that. That's like the slow burn. Like, because not much has happened yet, really. They got the creepy kids. They got like some things that flash. You see like something in the mirror, the little weird like thing in the mirror with staring back at the person. But I don't know. Not much is happening in that movie. I think Mrs. Cheapy is bailed already. But I don't know. Kind of good. I kind of want to watch more. You've been watching Queen's Gambit, Wombat, still?
I finished the Queen's Gambit.
Of course you did.
Have you not finished it?
No.
The payoff's worth it. You should finish
Well,
it.
we will finish it, but we watched one episode.
You watched
tonight.
Possessor. You could have not.
That was our
watched
Friday.
Possessor.
That was our big.
You would have been
Saturday
happy
night
with. You
experience.
probably would have gotten some sexy time out of Queen's Gambit.
But we watched that. We watched that too. I'm only like 4 or 5 episodes.
There's only 7 episodes.
Oh, we're almost there then.
Yeah.
We just watched the episode with the well, I don't want to say anything.
Where they do the thing with the stuff. Yeah, it's a good episode.
People in the chat are saying Knucklebone says Bly Manor, more like Blah Manor, and CLC Wolf says Bly Manor is not as good as Hill House. I heard Hill House is really scary.
That's the point. Why would you watch something called The
don't know.
Haunting of
I
Bly
don't know.
Manor,
I don't know.
expecting it to not? I hate scary things.
I don't know.
Oh, let's watch The Haunting.
Let's watch the thing where the
Haunting,
guy.
maybe Possessor, but I
I
don't
don't know.
want scary things.
You know what? Possessor was picked out by Mrs. Cheapy.
They just put a show on Netflix called "So Scary You'll Shit Your Pants." And you'd be like, "Oh, that sounds wholesome."
Yeah, I don't know. I would recommend Possessor for people who are like that art house stuff.
That's
Anyway, Ship watched more Ted Lasso, or you started Ted Lasso?
I
You
finished the
it.
first episode of Ted Lasso.
Oh, the first episode.
The
not
first
The
episode.
first season. Sorry,
Oh,
first
okay.
season. Yes. That's fantastic. Ted
Really?
Lasso is really good.
Funny
I've
and
heard
good?
that.
Really good. Yeah, really, really good. I wholeheartedly recommend Ted Lasso.
Okay.
It's gotten not only renewed for season 2 but season 3 as well. So
So people are watching it.
it's I haven't watched anything else on Apple Plus. That's the trick about Ted Lasso is that it's on Apple Plus.
I know I have an old Apple TV hooked up, I think, still. So I could do it. But then I got to
You could do
subscribe
Apple
to that.
Plus on
Yeah,
anything.
you don't need an Apple TV to watch.
But I'm not
Apple Plus.
watching anything that's not on that TV right behind me. Like I just
Well,
don't watch TV shows.
That's fine. But
Yeah, no, like you could watch it. I
it's
think
like
your
Netflix.
Xbox. Yeah.
It's
Oh, on Xbox? I can watch it on Xbox?
yeah.
Yeah.
There's an Apple TV app on Xbox?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
I think so. Yeah.
Oh,
It's
now
just,
you're talking. I only watch streaming services on Xbox.
As I'm saying, like it's a streaming service. It's not like you don't need an Apple box.
Right.
I know that English words can be hard for you sometimes, but we're trying
Yeah.
our best here.
Right. Somebody should light up the Xbox
you should
fanboy.
you should
alert.
watch Ted Lasso. I think
Okay.
it first couple episodes aren't probably depressing enough for you, but the depression
I don't-
comes in pretty good. But it's not crushing depression.
I don't need depression. I like funny things.
Okay.
I like straight funny things.
Do you like heartwarming things
Of
that
course.
are depressing and funny?
Of course.
I suggest Ted Lasso then.
Oh, I had one other thing that we watched, but I forgot what it's called. It's a World War One documentary by Peter Jackson. Jackson documentary. I forgot what it's called though, because it has a really long title. They shall not grow old. This is the movie where they took original World War One footage and they used computers to make it not look like black and white jank. So they took like black and white movie
Mm-hmm.
and it looks like great. Like it looks really good. The thing that they don't tell you when you see the trailer and stuff, they don't kick into that high quality, like nice, interesting footage, the whole reason why you're watching the movie, until like 20 something minutes in. There's like all this stuff with a little box of bad quality video to give you background about the war. But then eventually they get into the war. But it's also like a lot of the stuff they talk about is all the gross shit that they had to encounter fighting in the war, not just like getting shot in the head, which is like
Mustard gas and
trench foot.
Yeah.
You know about trench foot?
isn't that because they had their socks would get wet?
Because they lived in these trenches, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it would rain. There would be like, they would be poopy in the trench. They didn't really have like good shoes. It would be like winter, like everything would go wrong in the trenches. And then there would be all this shit floating around their feet, literally. And yeah, then they had rotten feet. So we had to stop watching that because it just sounded too gross.
Yeah, it sounds gross.
But it's pretty cool. The technology is really cool. I want to give a shout out for that. But
Sounds good.
that's on HBO Max, by the way. You don't have to
Oh, okay.
pay for that.
That is also good to know. I still have HBO Max, so
You haven't lost that yet. They won't
haven't
take that
lost
away from you.
yeah.
All right, let's move on to Cheapy's wide world of sports-like stuff because we have a question from @Hellsfire. He wants to know if we can get Shipwreck's thoughts on the NBA draft. Have you been following the NBA draft?
Sure. It's going on right now. It's a weird draft class this year. There's a lot of like
All really
talent.
short people. They're like,
really short.
all like
yeah.
5'4".
It was an
It's so
odd
crazy.
year. No, I mean like the top 3 picks are you've got Edwards from Georgia, of course. You know him, Cheapy?
You need who?
Edwards from Georgia.
John Edwards?
Mhm.
No, I don't know. I don't know any basketball players
Uh,
that play now anyway.
there's a lot of raw talent. Like Wiseman played 3 games for Memphis. Seemed good in those 3 games. LaMelo Ball has been playing overseas for a couple of years, and I think Obi Toppin, which you guys will get to see Obi Toppin. He went to the Knicks. He came out of Dayton.
I do
And-
watch all those Nick games, so that's going to be exciting.
Right. So Obi Toppin is the most surefire thing I would say. He is
Obi
you know what
Toppin
you're
is
gonna
a
get.
person's name?
Obi Toppin.
That's a cool name.
OBITOPPIN. But yeah, it's a weird draft, and I don't know. The Warriors getting James Wiseman seems unfair. Like that they
I was
pretty much
thinking the same
tanked
thing.
this entire year and they get a athletic 7-footer that can shoot.
Isn't that good?
No, that's good. It's very good. It's just
Oh.
unfair that that team was stacked to begin with. They were just hurt this last year. And now they get to add a piece that will really help them.
Okay. All right, there it is. Welcome to my Cheapy's Wide World of Sports Like stuff. All right, let's move on to some shopping news. I just wanted to give a shout out to the CAG Black Friday 2020 spreadsheet, which is easily accessible at Video Game Deals on Twitter. It's just pinned to the top. There's a link to it. The CAG community made the spreadsheet. You can just look up any game and it'll tell you the prices at all the retailers for Black Friday. So yeah, just go to Video Game Deals on Twitter and look at the pinned post. Check that out.
Very exciting.
Yeah,
Cool.
it's pretty cool. It's useful.
Thank you.
Let's move on to new releases.
Yeah.
Are
What do
these
we
the right
got?
new releases? Because there's a lot of games on here, and I feel
Yeah,
like
this looks
It's
like stuff
right.
we
It's
can talk
because you
about.
also listed it because you have the PlayStation 4 stuff and the PlayStation 5 stuff on there.
okay,
And there's some duplicates there. Like you have Assassin's Creed coming out for PlayStation 5, but technically it came out last week.
right,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
Let's go with it. This is a good list of games. Let's go with this.
There's some fun stuff.
okay. What do we got?
Kombat. You've been. Have you beaten Assassin's Creed Valhalla yet?
I'm over 20 hours
Oh
in
my
Assassin's Creed
God.
Valhalla.
That's crazy.
I did okay, first of all, I will say I still really like the game a lot, like a whole lot. It's what I wanted. You know, sometimes there's a game, I'm not saying it's the best game ever made. It's not going to change the universe in any way, shape, or form.
Right.
But sometimes you just want the game you want, and this is the game I wanted, and they delivered on that. And it's hard to complain about that. Does that make sense? But
Sure.
anything I just said? So I'm very pleased to be able to play as a Viking. I will say there is a minor spoiler. You do go to Asgard, and the Asgard section is not interesting in any way, shape, or form, and you kind of just want to go back to the story you've been doing.
Stay tuned for DLC pack number 1, Return to Asgard.
Yeah, it's not.
This
It's not. What you,
time-
yeah, I would say it might. You know, it's not a spoiler because it happens early enough in the game, and it's not like you're like, what's gonna happen here? You know exactly what's about to happen. So it's not really that much fun there. So I kind of burned through that section as fast as I could,
Right.
and now I'm back in the game, and kissing ladies and riding horses and chopping off heads. And that's what else can I want?
I'm in like 5 hours in.
Yeah.
Last week I was wondering why the game didn't have console to PC cross-save progression, but it does. It's Watch Dogs Legion, I believe, that does not have that.
Yeah, well,
I think I read that Watch Dogs Legion didn't have it and then assumed that Assassin's Creed didn't. But it does, and it works. I went back and forth successfully. Any tips that you can give me, Wombat, since I'm only like 5 hours in and you're...
I mean, once you get to England,
I'm there.
okay, so you're in England. Once you start that first mission, things
Yeah.
will start to sort of get into place. They'll tell you when you're upgrading your town the first 2 things to get, and you should listen to them.
Blacksmith.
Yeah, the blacksmith is one, and the other I think is the actual assassin's hut. So those are the 2 things you're gonna want to build first.
The asshole.
Don't do what I did and build the blacksmith and then the stable first.
Oh, I built the stable. Fuck.
Yeah, they're like, no, you got to build the assassin. So then you're gonna have to go do a raid, which is fine because
yeah,
the
it's
raids
fine.
are fun.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
just saying, you could have just burned out that mission quickly.
right. I walked by the place where you could build the stable, and I had the
Mhm.
stuff to build the stable. So obviously, I built the stable immediately.
Yeah, find the books, unlock the skills.
Yep. All right. It's fun. I like it. I
Yeah,
like it.
because you could do some really cool stuff with the skills.
Right.
They really went out of their way to make them fun and interesting, like throwing a spear
Right.
or putting a bomb inside a corpse. It's some fun stuff there.
The old corpse bomb.
The old corpse bomb. Because you do it and you run away, and some idiot always walks up to it. It's like, hey, there's a body over here. And then they blow up, and you're like, what a schmuck.
Right. I will say they still have not fixed the horrible screen tearing on the Series X. I don't know. It's probably not on the S. It's kind of embarrassing. I mean, like, this is this is like the flagship game for the system at launch, right? What else is there for the Series
Not much
XS,
else.
right?
Not much else.
I mean, this should be working like fucking gangbusters. Everybody should be on that. Microsoft should be all over this. Like,
Yep. I agree.
Fix it now. Fix it for free. Whatever. Like, it's not. It's bad. It's like it happens a lot.
I wouldn't know because I don't have
I
that
know.
console.
See, you're winning. It's working out for you.
I'm playing on my Xbox One old school, and I have had no
it's fine.
problems.
Yeah, and it's fine on PC. It's
and you got your Twitch gear. You got the Twitch gear for the game.
I did get my Twitch gear. I'm all decked out. I had this shitty armor, but because I linked my account.
Well, you could upgrade the shitty armor. It's
Right.
what I've been upgrading the most.
Oh,
And it's now my best armor.
but it's so
Upgrade
shiny.
your stuff.
I'll get there.
That's my other tip. Upgrade your stuff. If you can upgrade your stuff, upgrade your stuff. You have to do it at the blacksmith. It even changes what it looks like. It's cool.
Right. Tiger GD in the chat is saying that they want you to get an LG CX and use the variable refresh rate, which is like a feature that basically like only that TV has, I think, or only the most high-end televisions. That's not a good solution.
It's an interesting thing about these console launches, right? Like, I'm not seeing a huge difference yet. Like, they're faster. They're clearly faster.
Right.
You're getting better frame rates. You're getting
the
better
2-minute
times.
load times I have to sit
Right.
through for Assassin's Creed kind of suck.
Yeah, like I think I talked about on Yakuza last week before about how it was already loaded pretty fast on Xbox, but you have those tip screens in between.
Yeah.
And now when I'm playing it on the Series X, you can't read the tip screens. It's
Right.
just like they flash up and then they go away.
How else will you know what to do when confronted with a cheeseburger?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Assassin's Creed looks. I mean, the frame rate, 60 frames per second, is a big deal, to be honest. And
It is. At the same time, though, there's not that graphical wow, right? It's just like, oh, this is playing really nice and it's fast.
yes, you're correct. You're correct. I wonder if you do have one of these TVs like the LG CX or C9 or whatever, the ones that cost
I doubt
$3 grand.
I don't
You
know.
don't
I'm
think
having
it
a hard
makes a huge
time.
difference?
I'm having a hard time thinking it makes a huge difference. Just knowing that, like, you kind of fill in the blanks with your eyes already on this stuff.
Right.
So you can clearly see that it's faster and the frame rates are smoother.
Yeah.
Beyond that, I don't know that I need a whole lot or notice a whole lot graphically.
Yeah. I loaded up Mortal Kombat. Well, we'll talk about this later. Let's do the new releases.
Well, you were also you were playing some Bug Snacks.
Bug Snacks. Yeah, I didn't know
Yeah,
that Bug Snacks is out on PC.
It's a game about addiction and depression.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't play that
yeah.
much.
Emmeline's really enjoying it.
Oh, nice. Get her on here. She played more than I did.
She's been playing it on the PlayStation,
Right.
PlayStation 5.
So it's only out on PS5 right now and on the Epic Game Store on PC, I believe. Is that correct? Does that sound about right?
Sounds reasonable.
It was. I got an email that was on sale on Epic Game Store. So I was like, fuck it, I'll buy it and stream it. It's really cute. It's got those rather Viva Pinata vibes, definitely.
For the animal designs, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not the farm management.
But you play as like a Muppet.
Yes.
And in first person.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is also weird. It seems like it should be a third person game, but whatever.
It makes sense as a first person game because of the way you trap the creatures.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I'll take your word for it.
So you're going around trapping them, and there's this mystery that you're solving at the same time. And there's definitely, it's cute. At the same time, you definitely have like a dark overtone to everything that you're talking to the characters, and there's something amiss with everything.
right. Yes. Yeah, I mean, it's cute. I'm not.
It's good.
I didn't go to bed thinking about it, but whatever.
I think if your kid likes kind of the dark humor, like the kids' dark humor, that they would be into this as well.
Cool.
Yep.
What else we got in new releases?
I played and beat Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales.
Wow. I heard Ty told me that the kids at school are talking about Miles Morales
I can
How's
talk with
it-
the kids at school.
on PS5.
How was it?
It is really good.
How long did it take you to beat said game?
I don't know. I think somewhere in the 7 to 8 hour range. It's and that was not doing a lot of the side mission stuff.
Does
all of the
it
side mission
feel
stuff.
expansiony or does it feel like a
Yes.
standalone game? Yeah. No.
The story feels like a standalone game. The game itself, it's very much just more of the Spider-Man game.
Okay.
All of the side missions, or nearly all, there might be a unique one or two. I don't remember. They're all the same side missions. Like, here's a construction site, clear all the bad guys out.
I remember that one.
Remember that one?
Yeah, yeah.
There's the, hey, go do this race to hit all these markers. There's the little things that are going on in the city where you can just go beat up the guys and you get like your 2 different tiers of how well you did. You did these many swinging kicks, that type of stuff. But why it's worth playing is that the story is really well done. So
I believe it. The story was really good in the first one.
Yeah, it's and my kids they watched the whole thing too. It's not super violent other than one time, and this happened in the first Spider-Man game too. For some reason, they like shooting citizens in the face execution style. If you don't like, I didn't realize it was happening, but like
Right.
it was one of these events, not part of the main story, just a side event.
Right.
Where I'm like beating up guys. I didn't realize like the little side mission was that there was also a guy trying to break into a truck and steal a truck.
Right.
And so like it cut away from me like beating up these guys and like shows this like close up. It doesn't show anything graphic, but it's like pretty graphic for
Graphic
for what
enough
it is.
for Spider-Man.
Like yeah, like an assault rifle like right up against the guy's face and he's like, and it like fires off and then the screen like fades to black. And it's like they just keep reminding me that I didn't save that guy and like asking, hey, did we ever save that guy? No, he's gone, kids.
They should have. Maybe they could have. The guy could have just pistol whipped them instead, and that.
So would you refer to this game as a superior Spider-Man, or is it really just a spectacular Spider-Man?
I think it has a tighter, more well-told story.
Well, it's shorter. It's half.
So it's
the
a tighter web of Spider-Man.
Yes.
It's half this length, though.
Oh, it's at least half the length.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's an appropriate length, though. It's a game. The better frame rate is clearly visible in the game. So
yeah,
I like.
that's awesome.
I will say that. Like this is I know it's on PS4 and it's a cross-generation one. This is not a game where I really noticed that it was doing anything spectacular with the controller.
Oh, the thing didn't like when you shot the web, you didn't feel like something was coming out of your wrist?
Maybe I did. It wasn't as distracting. The controller. Are we to the PlayStation 5 portion? Can I talk about this?
Well, we done.
Are there any other new releases that we want to talk
there
about?
There are, and that's what I would get into here. Is I also beat Astro's Playground.
Okay.
I didn't think that was an actual game.
It is.
It's an actual game. It's like a 2 to 3 hour game, but it's an actual game.
I don't know. I'm just saying. I thought it was just like a thing.
No, it's
like a toy.
No, it's a like a 3D Mario platformer.
Cool.
It is pretty cool. It's it's a little bit too much with the controller, which I realize it's meant to be the showcase for the controller. But when it got to the portions like where you're doing the like tilting the controller to move stuff around, and I was just like, nobody wants to do this. I thought we all decided this is not what we wanted when they tried to make us like shoot bow and arrows with that stuff. Like,
right. We all agree that was just like a fad and like didn't really work.
None of that. Like all the rest of this, you want to do the cute little, it's got all kinds of motors that are vibrating inside. fine. You want me to occasionally swipe at the little touch screen on the controller?
Right. We all agree. That's okay.
That's okay. You can speak to me through the controller. We're all good there. as soon as you have me like holding down a trigger and tilting my controller this way, and then holding down a control trigger and tilting it the other way, I've all of a sudden I'm paying more attention to the controller than the game, and that's immediately where it's like, okay, I don't want
It's
this.
distracting.
Yeah.
Kind of like my heating going on right now, which I'm trying
Also,
to turn off.
yes, Real Proto Mike brought this up. What about blowing into the controller?
That's a real thing. I thought people
That's
were
a real
joking
thing. I
about
don't want
that.
to do that either. That's another thing that I don't want to do. Also, battery life on this controller,
Yes.
about 5 hours.
That's not very long.
It's not.
That's
It's not
like
very long.
Wombat's Afternoon of Avengers right there.
Right. And you can charge it. I think you can charge and play with it. I know that for sure. I haven't done that because the controller or the cable they send you with it, I think it's only like 4 feet long. So the controller lasted longer in Spider-Man because it wasn't doing all the crazy stuff, but it was still like you're gonna want to immediately, once you're done playing, charge that.
They want you to go outside. They're like, okay, you've had enough. Go take a walk. Make sure you wear a mask, and then when you come back, you can play your game again.
I don't think that's what they want.
It's I don't know. I would rather get rid of all of that stuff. Like it's a much better controller than the PlayStation 4 controller. Let me say that.
I don't like the PlayStation 4.
No, the PlayStation 4 controller is a toy.
Right.
It's too light. It doesn't feel good. The PlayStation 5 controller feels really nice. I still wish the sticks were not symmetric right next to each other.
Right.
But it feels really nice. I think all of these other gimmicks are a little bit much, and that brings me back to Astro Boy. You go along that Astro Boy is a really fun experience, and it's got a lot of nostalgia built in for PlayStation stuff.
Okay.
Astro's Playroom.
What did I call it?
Astro Boy.
Astro Boy.
Oh, sorry.
It's not a Japanese cartoon from the 60s.
Exactly. Yeah. The game itself's really good. The nostalgia will hit people in different ways. I found that I was just constantly laughing because you're like collecting like things like they're called artifacts in the game.
Okay.
And you get them and it's like, oh, here's like the 4-player multi-tap from the PlayStation 1. Here's the iToy.
That's
Here's all of these things, like literally every little gadget. And the whole time I'm like, this is like just going through like a list of junk that they used for like a handful of games over and over again as the highlight for like all the features of this controller.
Right. They're just saying, remember, is Eye of Judgment make an appearance?
Well, yeah, I don't know if Eye of Judgment
The camera does.
Eye of Judgment. There's a whole bunch of like things where these little Astro bots are like playing out scenes from different games throughout the levels.
Okay.
Like Last of Us or God of War or
Eye of Judgment is underrated.
Ape Escape, like all kinds of like classic stuff. They're like in there playing. It's really cute. But I don't know if Eye of Judgment makes it in there or not. The iToy is definitely in there. All of the Eye versions of the cameras are definitely in there as collectibles. But it's definitely worth a playthrough. It's a fun little game.
Cool.
Is that a woodpecker on your glass, GB?
No, it's not a woodpecker. It's a different type of bird.
Gotcha.
I don't know what kind of bird it is. Not a bird person.
Woodpecker.
My son is a bird person. He probably knows.
You should ask him.
He just says,
Did anyone get Godfall or Demon Souls?
no.
The Price Ship hasn't beaten Demon Souls yet.
I don't
doesn't
play those
play that.
games. You
That
know
game's easy. It's an easy game for noobs.
I did not play that.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard that one is the graphical showcase of these systems, but I
Yes.
also don't want to.
Is it really?
Yeah, but
Supposed
then
to
you'd
be-
have to play the game. You see, it's like a double-edged sword.
Right.
Graphical showcase, but
Have
you
to play
gotta
the
play
game.
it. Yeah.
Right. I may not be up for that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Apparently, Godfall is terrible.
Really? I think people were hyped up for that.
like Anthem levels bad.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's all I've been seeing. I don't know anything about the game other than apparently it's got a 62 on Metacritic.
Right.
Just to give some sort of context to what that means. Destructoid gave it a 7.
It's not great.
No.
A 7's okay.
EGM gave it a 4.
That's not good.
No.
Not what you're looking for. No.
What else?
So.
That Sackboy King came out. I have not played that. I do not like Little Big Planet.
Right. Did that get good reviews?
I'm still wondering if it's still like, oh, this is actually just a platformer this time. Maybe this is for me. But I haven't pulled the trigger on it quite yet.
Yeah, it only took them this long to make the game that we said they should have made the first time. So.
Right.
Indeed.
What else?
Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory came out. That's the music game based around Kingdom Hearts. That is a Christmas present for my daughter.
It's a music game?
Yeah, it's just a rhythm music game for all the Kingdom Hearts songs.
Oh, I was gonna say, is it Disney songs? No, it's Kingdom Hearts. Yeah.
No, it's Disney songs as well.
Okay. Got Rambo and Mortal Kombat.
Yes,
Rambo.
I saw that. I watched some trailers of that. He looks pretty cool. It's pretty fucking funny.
There you go. You wanted a war.
I didn't.
You sure?
I was never into Rambo.
Well, I mean, First Blood is a classic, but after that, they're very different movies.
I never I don't even think I've ever watched one all the way through.
You should watch First Blood. It's nothing like it's not a Rambo movie.
I know. It's
First
I
Blood's
watched
its
some of
own
it.
thing.
It starts off and he's just walking through the town and people are like, "That's that hippie," and they don't like
and
him.
Brian Dennehy's like, "Get out of my town."
Right.
And John Rambo's like, "Why can't I just be in your town? I'm just a guy." And he's like, "No, man,
walking through town.
you can't be in my town." And then they try to hunt him down, and he winds up blowing the whole town up. It's awesome.
Any other new releases?
Guitar came out for Switch.
What did?
Guitar.
Oh, Guitar. Yeah. And also Beat Me came out for Switch. Need for Speed Hot Pursuit Remastered is a thing.
Yes, that is a thing.
That game was awesome.
Wasn't that game on the Xbox One? Like a launch-ish? Is that the one I'm thinking of?
They should have this jacked up. This isn't Series X optimized, right? I think it's not. Why? Why not? Any other new releases?
That's enough.
That's
I think
a lot.
It's a lot.
There's so many games came out, but we don't know anything about these other ones. All right, let's move on then to Wombat's Fortnightly News.
All right.
We talked about all these games already.
I know. There's still Fortnite to talk about. Always Fortnite. Wow. Joker Pack came out this week.
Is it good?
I don't know. I didn't pick up the Joker. It's not like there's anything other than buying the skin of the Joker and Poison Ivy. And I would say Midas, but you don't know who Midas is. So
no.
He's like he's the bad guy in Fortnite.
Right.
He's the Fortnite version of the Joker.
I didn't know. Didn't know they had a story or anything.
There's a whole, oh, please, if you ask my son to recite to you the lore of Fortnite. So
he knows
we explained to him that Fortnite, a battle royale and what battle royale comes from and that movie Battle Royale and also the
You had to talk.
And then we talked about the Hunger Games. And he's like, "Wait, the Hunger Games don't Sabrina has the books in her room." And he's like, "Can I read the Hunger Games? Cuz it's Fortnite adjacent."
Right.
And I'm like, "If you really want to, I mean, it's, a 7th grade level book and you're in 4th grade, but if you want to give it a shot." So he's about halfway through the Hunger Games right now.
Does he like it?
He loves it.
Right.
And there you go. He could read the Hunger Games because we're asking him questions to make sure that he's comprehending what he's reading and it's not just words.
He's not just going like this, put a book in front of his face, and then just not,
Or even, at his age, you see, it's just a grouping of words that don't mean anything.
Sure.
But well, what's this person's name? Oh, Peter. Peter wants to be a baker. I'm like, okay, you're getting it.
He's a beta.
PETA.
I know. He's a beta.
PETA is a beta. Oh, I see. Yes.
Ty, I think, made it through 2 of the books and then bailed. I think he had enough. I
Yeah.
finished all the books, though.
As did I. But, for a 9-year-old, if he made it through 1, I'd be impressed.
Right. Darkness in the chat asks if I'm going to check out the Galactus event. What's the Galactus event, Wombat?
Galactus is coming to Fortnite.
And what's
It's
going to
be there, and it's going to be a big event, and it's going to be cool.
Building walls and such?
I don't know what's going to happen. We know that Iron Man, Tony
emoting.
Stark, he's doing something with the buses. He's getting the buses ready. He put wings on them. It's going to be something crazy.
Right.
Or the Fortnite guys and the Marvel guys are probably going to have to team up. Take them out.
Yeah. Mr. B in the chat said he's DJing a concert.
That's also very likely.
Those concerts
there will
are
be
fun.
there will
I'm
be
more interested in
techno
that.
music and lots of colors and Galactus, and it'll be a whole thing.
Right.
It'll be, I guess, November 30th.
That was
'cause
the
that's
last time
day
I
of the
played
season.
Fortnite, was when they had one of those DJ events.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really play. I just
Yeah.
jumped up and down while some guy played other people's music.
I mean,
right. I'm glad you're excited about it.
I am excited. It's fun. It's something we do together.
Right.
Yes, go ahead.
Well, we can finish off Wombat's fortnightly news. I played Among Us for the first time.
Were you unimpressed?
I was pretty unimpressed. I mean, I get the appeal of it, but I don't like the whole concept of like the gameplay is me lying to people. Like, I'm sure like I could lie to people pretty
Well, that's
fine.
if you're the imposter.
But right, but that happens. And yeah. Well, I guess that's the only time you would lie, right? Is if you're the imposter.
Mm-hmm.
But that does happen. That is a part of the game. You will be the imposter. And I let Ty play a few rounds, and he was like not like he wouldn't like he has no problem like lying to me, but like he in the chat like he wouldn't lie. He wouldn't like people are accusing him of being the imposter, and he was, and he was like, well, what can I say? Like he wouldn't say like he's not. Like I don't know. It was weird, but
Nuh-uh.
yeah. And I didn't. We played with people in the chat, on Twitch. And we just played using the in-game text chat. We didn't use Discord, which I think is like what people, generally do. But I don't know. And I didn't like the controls. I didn't like having to use like mouse and keyboard and clicking around. It seemed very awkward, especially with my trackball. It's probably not optimized for trackball.
I played it a few times on my phone.
Right. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Not my thing. Not my thing.
Mm-mm.
Let's move on to Sony, but yeah, and then we could talk about the PlayStation 5 and Shipwrecks, more airing of grievances.
I have more airing of grievances.
I don't know, maybe. I came across this news item that said people were finding out that they were playing the PlayStation 4 version on their PS5. They, I guess, had downloaded that. And I noticed that, I mean, I don't have a PS5, but I noticed on Xbox, if you hadn't done any research ahead of time, you may not realize like how to get the Xbox Series optimized games going. You may not realize that those have to be playing off the internal drive and not off of your external drives. And it doesn't really prompt you on like the best way to get that going. Like it should, at least on the Xbox. I know that the PlayStation must be worse because it seems like all of their user interface stuff is worse. But I feel like on the Xbox, they should have just, as part of the onboarding, look through your games on your external drive, say, these games are optimized, pop up a little window, say, would you like to have these optimized versions of your games running? If you want to, we have to either move them off your hard drive onto the internal drive or re-download them. I noticed that Mortal Kombat, when I moved it over from the external to the internal, did not work, and I had to re-download it, and then it worked. So I felt like that was really the one issue that I had with the Xbox setup, was it didn't have any type of onboarding for the optimized games. And I'm sure the PlayStation, so it looks like the PlayStation has the same problem as well. And that takes a lot of
know what you're downloading and download it to the hard drive. Don't even use an external drive yet because it's not working right.
Right. Well, no,
I haven't plugged in external drives yet, just because I feel like that's the one area that could screw up the most.
Oh, I don't even think of that. Because I didn't really realize like what the situation was that the games had.
You
be
need to
playing
play
on.
if you're playing the game of your external drive and you're playing a crappier version of the game.
But there may only be crappier versions of the game available.
Not necessarily.
But it tells you it will go in
Oh.
if you look on your library, it'll
Mhm.
tell you can select a filter to show me the optimized games. And I did that, but it should do that all automatically for you, I feel. And I just click, window
I
you
don't
through
think it does it automatically.
Yeah. But anyway, did we finish talking about the PlayStation 5? Your experience so far? What do you think of the interface?
The interface is lacking. It's not there yet.
It's the typical Sony, I guess everyone used to do it. Like, they would have this fully fleshed out interface for the console that's been out for 7 years, and then start all over. Just start from scratch.
I mean, it's you're not going to be lost in it, right? It's very similar to their crossbar whatever interface that they've had for a while. It's just there's not a lot going on with it. It's pretty bare bones, and they've made some it seems like maybe it's just getting used to it, but it seems like there's a lot more button presses needed to do things like put your console to sleep.
It's always something like that when the new interface comes out. But the trade-off is having the same old one on your old console like Xbox, but everything works and you know where everything is.
Yeah, it was even just looking around on the PlayStation Store, they changed around where some stuff was, and I was just it wasn't intuitive. All I was looking for was games that were on sale or something. That's a typical thing for especially me to look at. I just go in and look, hey, what's on sale? And I was having trouble just I couldn't tell if that was in there or not when I was looking through.
Right.
It's all stuff that it works fast. It's quick. The setup process is not as streamlined and amazing as what the Xbox One is when you're setting it up.
Right.
You have to. I had to turn on my PS4 to set up my PS5.
Pretty cool.
If I wanted to pull in those settings.
Right.
You didn't have to, but that was a hey, you want to do this?
Not really, but you're not giving me much choice.
It seems like you want me to do it, so.
Yeah, the Xbox was so close to getting the perfect, setup experience. They just missed that layer with the optimized titles, because that's what you bought the new system to see the optimized.
I think they are working on it. It just isn't there. It's not out yet.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying, they could have automated that shit for you.
They should automate
Hey, look,
that shit for you.
to play optimized games need to be installed on the hard drive. Would you like us to do that for you now? Yes or no? With all your
Well, I mean,
that's it.
depends on what games you want. You
don't have any choices now. You don't have many choices now. There's how many?
There's not enough room to download every optimized game that you would even have available.
I could.
No, you couldn't.
I did. I can name all the games right now.
You have both Ori's on there?
Well, I don't have it on mine.
Why not?
Because I don't download every game that exists.
That's what you just said you wanted to do. Is download
I said on
every
my
optimized
Xbox,
game.
on mine.
Yes.
All
you
the
want to
available
download every
optimized
game
games
you
that are
own.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have both Ori games.
I don't.
Yes, you do.
Well, they're on Game Pass. Obviously I can't download the entire Game Pass library onto my Xbox.
Well, no, but just Game Pass games. You said just the games that are optimized. Ori and the Will-O-Wisp
that I have.
is supposed to be the most optimized game for the console.
I downloaded the new one.
Yeah,
I got the new one on there.
So
I got
you
Mortal
did do
Kombat.
It. So not only are you saying why would I do that, you actually did it.
No, but I'm saying, yeah, the ones I have that are optimized will fit on there. It's just it's Call of Duty, Avengers, it's Mortal Kombat.
I don't think Avengers
Assassin's
is optimized
Creed.
yet.
It is. It says it is, at least.
Oh, okay.
I mean, there's a filter. It just shows the list, and it's not that many. Overcooked. I got the Overcooked all you can eat.
Cool. You got your Fortnite on there?
It shows up. I did not move that one over.
Oh, loser.
Right.
That's the first game I'm going to put on there.
There's just not the point. My point is there's not that many games that appear to be optimized for Series S and X right now, at least in my library, which is a lot, 191 games, I believe. Anyway, Is that
I
a
don't want to say
Persona?
how many games are in my library.
Right. How many?
Yeah, I
wanna
was
hear.
gonna say the amount of games I have in my Xbox library is not 191.
It was mine. Actually, I'm wrong. It's 193, I believe. What's yours?
Mine's like 550
yeah,
something.
because see, you guys are crazy. I don't. I just take what I can use. That's all. Like I'm not a hazer.
Mm-hmm.
You know what a hazer is, Wombat?
No.
It's a pig. Someone who gets everything, but it's not enough.
Mm-hmm.
My Scarface impression.
That was nice.
Thank you. Where are we here? Are we at the CAG bag?
I think so.
If you're in the chat and you have CAG bag questions, now's the time to type them, and then I will put them up on screen. But we have some now. From @Perkinator, he says, "What do you guys think happened to the console price drops? I remember when the PS1 and PS2 launched at $300, eventually dropped to $99. That never seems to happen anymore. PS4 Pro is still $400. PS4 Slim is still $300. They seem to adopt the Apple model." I think
All right. Eventually, they just stop making them, and that's it. They just go away.
maybe there's just no way to get this level of hardware down to $100 anymore. Is that possible?
That's very possible. It also may just be
I'm
that they
waiting for
don't
Shipwreck
need
to
to.
answer.
I think they are just
Sorry.
better at managing their supply chains now.
Yeah.
Wait, what does that mean?
They don't overproduce those older consoles. They start ramping them down much sooner now. Like for 2019, like you weren't seeing shelves full of PS4 Pros and Xbox One X's. Even Nintendo with like their Switch, the main Switch, not the Switch Lite, like they're not putting out a ton of product, right? Because they know they're making the next thing. And it doesn't benefit them to put out the old product if they're not making games for that old product. So
Right.
they're not looking for that market anymore.
Right. There you go. So yes, they are sort of. I guess it is sort of the Apple model. They're like everything is sort of backwards and forwards compatible now, and well, not forwards compatible. Some stuff is, but yeah.
There's one game on Game Pass that I can't download
Why not?
because it's Xbox Series X only.
What is it?
The Medium.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's rough.
I know. I'm like, wait, I can't download that game, but I paid for it.
Yep. You and your Game Pass library. You love that thing.
I do.
You need like a stuffed animal Game Pass library. You could just
Okay, whatever
cuddle
that
with
means.
at night.
Oh, okay, yeah. Uh-huh.
It keeps you nice and secure.
No one loves me like my Game Pass library loves me.
Hey, look at all these games. Carlos writes in and he says, "How long until we get a UI upgrade to the new Xbox so it looks like new? I heard a lot of complaints about it being the same as the previous UI, and I think basically it feels old gen because of that." Well, it moves faster. They got that.
I think they'll change it though. I wouldn't be surprised if sometime next year.
Sure, but
they
it's going to
change it up
change.
somehow.
It'll change the whole ecosystem through. Like it'll change on PC. It'll change on Xbox One.
Also, the UI now on the Xbox is still fairly new. I mean, it's only looked like that for like 3 months.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
true.
that was the interesting thing that they launched that refresh before the consoles.
Well, I think the mindset was we'll change the UI now.
So
People can get used to it, and then when they get the new consoles.
And also, it works. We know it works. So when people get their new
It-
system, they're like, "Where's the friends list?"
I feel like there are more pros than cons to doing that, especially with the new shop, because they changed the store layout completely.
Yes.
So
it is
It's
it
good
is
with
odd
bad.
though to turn it on and go like, okay,
I've seen this.
this is just something that works better than the last one,
yeah.
right? Like it's
Mhm.
everything's exactly the same.
It just works a little better.
It just works faster.
I
You're not
changed
waiting for
I changed
things.
my background so it would feel fresh.
Oh, that's a good thing.
Yeah, I used to
Like,
use
I don't think the PS5 even has themes yet.
no themes.
No themes. I don't think. At least I couldn't. I didn't spend a lot of time looking for them, but I at least looked to see if there was a Qbert one, and I couldn't find where that
So if there's no Cubert one, there's probably no themes.
Probably not.
themes.
It's probably not existent.
I'm pretty sure that was like a good moneymaker for them.
The Cubert theme?
Themes.
Oh, themes. Sure. Why not?
Yeah.
Let's see. Here's the one from the chat. This is from Invader Kim. He says, "Is it worth getting the new consoles at this point? Not that I could find one right now anyway."
Well, you can't find one anyway.
No,
Probably
the answer
not.
is no. It is
No.
not. The answer is no.
No, I do need to put my mouth guard in though because it's getting close to bedtime. So
What?
What?
How do you talk with that?
what?
Oh boy.
I said I was gonna wear it one of these episodes.
Right. Right. Okay. Well, it looks good. You
Yep.
got to sleep with that thing? Do you like want to gag a lot?
You have. That's why I have to. Nah.
You got to get used to
I
it.
have to put it in an hour before bed to get myself used to it.
Oh my god, that's not good.
Otherwise, yes, you feel like you're because when you first put it in, it's like your gag reflex starts to kick in a
Is
little
that
bit.
a retainer or something else?
No, it's just rubber.
So you don't grind your
Rubber.
teeth?
Yeah. But when you wake up in the morning because you've had this much space between your mouth and between your teeth,
Yes.
your jaw locks up and you can't close your mouth for like an hour, even when you take it out. And I'm like,
We got to do a show like that.
how
right,
you
when
guys
wake up.
doing?
Special
Good
report.
morning. How they gone? Gotta go to school.
Special broadcast.
Yeah. But yes,
Uh,
it keeps me from grinding.
At Semi Frocky asks he's two questions. One for me. How much do you vet the Twitch streamers you raid after the CAGcast? Are you worried you'll accidentally send us to a white supremacist or a wife beater? Well, I don't hire a private detective to follow them around, but they're all people that I follow on Twitch, so they might be wife beaters or white supremacists, but they're not doing that stuff on stream, at least. Like, I don't know what they're doing in their personal life, but they seem pretty much like on the level. But that's all the vetting I do. I don't I'm not following people around or anything. I think that's it for the questions and whatnot. And there's no ad. Well, let's do some ads for us. Listen to this show live. Watch this show live on Twitch on Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Twitch.tv/CheapAssGamer. And join our Discord. Discord.gg/CAG. Also, follow at Video Game Deals on Twitter. We're giving away a PlayStation 5. Another one. You can win it. Wombat can't win it, but you could win it. Follow us on Twitter at TPD, at New Wombat, at Shipwreck. And we're going to raid. Here's who we're going to raid. We're going to raid Shuli from Howard Stern. So he knows the full power of Cheap Ass Gamer because he only has like 20 viewers. So we could really impress him and he's going to think I'm cool. That's it.
Break some.
Wait, I got to launch the bread. And then I got to raid.